She said, yeah, 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 yeah. All you need, oh yeah, really need good love, 'cause you got to have love. Hey, now you got to have love, a little good love, now baby, good love. the street, spills on down the avenue, bringing dancers to their feet. When it's good as it can be, it gets better, wait and see. Oh, these folks don't never sleep till they're passed out in the street. Ha! Way down in the south of France, all the ladies love to dance. Clap their hands and walk on air. Yeah, the feeling's really there. Won't you take a little taste? Raise it to your charming face. When the rhythm's really right, you can burn it down tonight. When the singing's really fine, sweet as Spanish sherry wine. Go on, take a chance. The ladies do love to dance.
Good afternoon and welcome to Unity. I'd like to invite everyone to stand if you want to and just open your hearts to this song that we can sing together. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Let's sing the love. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Now the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. And the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. Bring it back to love. We let the love wash over us. We let
Thank you so much. We welcome you this afternoon to Unity Spiritual Center of Portland. I'm Lisa Davis. I'm part of the team here as we gather this afternoon to honor Meggan and this beautiful soul and this light that she is. I believe we gather in an awareness and we create, as anytime humanity gathers with an intention to honor and to love and to hold a space in spirit for a being. I believe we create a consciousness, and as we gather in that consciousness with that intention of opening to the love that she is, that she always has been and continues to be, then we have that sacred opportunity of being a part of this life journey. I know that we come together from all phases of her life, from various aspects of her past, her present, and yet as we allow the light that Meggan has shared with each of us to touch us, we become a part of that future also. And so I welcome you here. We're going to open in prayer. Whatever prayer is to you, whatever this higher power understanding is, I just invite you to open your heart for a moment as we just say, Infinite Spirit, we are open. We are receptive. We know that Meggan is light, pure light, and that she continues along this sacred journey, this journey of life, in all of its forms, and that she is guided, protected, held in the arms of Spirit, and that as we gather in this space, we are family. And in that family, we know that there is healing, there is love, there is a coming together, and an opportunity to bless this sacred soul along this journey of life. Thank you for this opportunity to gather. And so it is. Amen. And we have a reading. Death is nothing at all.
Thank you for that beautiful prayer, Reverend Lisa. You made me cry before I had to perform. Thank you. All right, Death is Nothing at All by Henry Scott Holland. Death is nothing at all. I have only slipped away to the next room. I am I, and you are you. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak to me in the easy way which you always used. Put no difference in your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without effect, without the trace of a shadow in it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same that it ever was. There is absolute, unbroken continuity. Why should I be out of mind because I am out of sight? I am but waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere very near. Just around the corner, all is well.
Thank you, Susan. Oh. You know, it's been such a short amount of time, and there's been so much change. And as we gather today, I believe one of the gifts that we can give to Meggan is to hold the thought of her, the divine soul that we've known she is, the light of the world, you could say, the essence of spirit that she is. We can hold her as that being and remember she's no longer confined to a body. And we come from so many different backgrounds and ideas, and yet this idea of, we have this spacesuit that some of us would like to exchange for another one, or we'd like it to look differently, but we come with an idea of thinking that's who we are. But when we go to the place of spirit, and we recognize that who we are creations of the infinite and that light, then we have the ability to recognize that when someone sheds that spacesuit, that actually they're expanding into the essence of love that I believe as we knew Meggan, we got to know her as love, as the energy that she lived life with. We got to know her in so many different ways. And so, you could say we were her garden of life also. All of us have been touched by what she brought to this world and the way that she shared who she was. And those seeds that she's planted in our hearts, if we allow ourselves to continue to nurture them and learn from what she's taught us, then we have the ability to continue to express that light and that presence. And so we kind of have the opportunity now as we gather to recognize there's been a shift, and that's not always easy. But also, we can move away from thinking of her as limited by time and space, which science now shows us isn't reality anyway. There isn't time or space, but instead to allow an opening and a larger picture. And so we can lift our vision to a new experience upon which she's entered. And it's my desire that all of us continue to hold a space of knowing her as the living soul that she has been and that she continues to be. And yet, one of the greatest challenges that all of us meet is the challenge of change. And there's been a change, and it was fast, and it happened, and one of the greatest changes and the most mysterious of all these changes and challenges is the one we call death. And so as we just hold an idea that just maybe this continuity of a soul that continues on its sacred journey, this spiritual being having a human experience and then moving on as a being of spirit and continuing to share and to grow and to learn and to expand as she continues that journey. I want to read to you something. It's a poem called "There Is No Death." And it explains a little bit of this person's idea of what that might look like. I am standing upon the seashore. A ship at my side spreads her white sails to the morning breeze and starts for the blue ocean. She is an object of beauty and strength, and I stand and watch her until at length she hangs like a speck of white cloud just where the sea and the sky came together to mingle with each other. And then someone at my side said, "There, she's gone." Gone where? Gone from my sight, that's all. She's just as large in mast and hull and spar as she was when she left my side. And she's just as able to bear her load of living weight to her destined port. Her diminished size is in me, not in her. And just at the moment when someone at my side says, "There, she's gone," there are other eyes watching her coming and other voices taking up the glad shout, "There she comes." And that's dying. There truly is no death in God. And so Meggan has she's let aside this garment of flesh, and her soul, though invisible to us, is what really touched us. We were touched by the qualities and the ideas and the way that she lived her life. And in this gathering here, I believe we get to nurture that and look at that. And we experience sadness because we want to hug that physical form. But what I know is it's not the physical form that brought you here today. It's what touched your heart. It's what opened your mind. It's what said, "I believe in you. I know who you are. I see you." And I bring laughter, and I bring ideas, and I bring a view that's larger and touches us. And so we know that those inner qualities that she shared, her enthusiasm for life and her love for nature and her courage with which she touched the world around her, we know that that's what draws us. And those qualities, they come from the heart of the universe. They come from this quantum field, and they find expression in beings. And she continued to express those throughout her whole journey, this sacred, sacred journey that we're all on. And that we all get to look at, wow, how do I express and how do I allow that through? And so our gathering today is kind of a sacred space of just saying, we're here. We hold space for that soul. We recognize the light that she is, and we have the ability for it to be a healing gathering too. Because you're going to hear some of her life journey, and you're going to hear things I'm sure you didn't know, and you're going to hear from people around you, and it's going to be like, wow. She chose to share her light in this way, in this way, in this way. When we hear those, they begin that healing process. And life continually asks us to evolve and to heal and to hold space. And so, every one of us today could name a quality of that's what she brought to me, that's what she brought to me, that's what she brought to me. And through Meggan, we found some of those. And I want to stop for just a moment and say, if you need Kleenex, they're in the seats in front of you. There's little packages. I know some of you have brought your own, but they're there for you also. And so she's gathered these things. Meggan, you may have noticed it, never stopped learning. She continued to meet life where it was. She continued to find a bigger way to show up or to touch the world or her place or wherever she was. And that soul that she is, that came in as an infant, that said, here I am, world, and chose her parents and her family and the people around you. There's no mistakes in any of that. It's all perfect, just as it is and was. And she moved through this life journey, and that soul is richer and stronger and more power-filled because of the experiences she had and the lives that she touched and the way that she learned and grew. And she and Beverly got to find ways to, how do I work through this? What do I do with this? And all of us do. In all of our relationships. And we gather, the soul gathers this idea and this learning as we go. And so I believe we get to learn today and be a part of a healing family that begins to say, whoa, this hurts. I don't know where to go with this. There's grief. I want this in this way. And I guess for me anyway, I keep learning, I get to say, this is. I get to let it be. And then I get to let my heart expand a little bit. And it finds a deeper part of itself through some of the sadness and through some of the experiences and through some of the pieces. And so today, I believe we get to fill our minds and our hearts as we hear the stories of her life, and we hear the funny things that she did and didn't do, and the way she and I heard there's a bonfire tonight that is another expression of the light that she is and the celebration that she continued to live as she valued the day. What we get to be is, it's a part of a healing circle, and it opens us up, but it's also something that begins to teach us and our soul learns from. And just know, her soul hasn't gone anywhere. There's just as much light in that essence as there always has been. There's just as much laughter, there's just as much humor, there's just as much movement. And so when we say yes to being a part of a life, sometimes we think, well, that's done. Actually, the journey's only just begun. We've gone this far, and it continues on. And so I just invite you to be a part of it, to say, what if life is eternal? What if the light that I knew as Meggan is eternal and light and always has an ability to teach me or to remind me of the wholeness that I am? For her to find her own wholeness and her own love and her own life, she has the ability to bring it to us. And so in just a moment, you're going to hear After the Storm. And I just invite you to know you're a part of the healing as we come together today. So Jay Martin and Emily Sipes are going to share with us After the Storm.
Said I thought it would be colder. You put your head upon my shoulder. Ain't it funny how time just seems to run? What the hell have you been doing? Not too sure, guess mostly moving. I've been spinning for so long, now I guess I'm spun. Like the widest river, like the brightest morn. There is hope where you can't see it. There is light after the storm. But won't you help me to get through it? I've been flailing like a child. My mistakes, they are so many. For my loving heart is wild. Not quite old, but far from young. Body bold, with a youthful tongue. Like a kiss held out of contest, I can't separate my mind. We can set this boat on fire. We can leave it all behind. Like the widest river, like the brightest morn. There is hope just up ahead. There is a shelter safe and warm. But won't you help me to get to it? I've been selfish, I have lied. My mistakes, they are so many. For my ruthless heart is wild, like the wind that shears the blades and cuts you down to size. None but the dust and seeds remain. They root themselves and rise. Like the widest river, like the brightest morn. There is a hope where you can't see it. There is a light after the storm. But won't you help me to get through it? mistakes, they are so many. For my weary heart is wild.
Thank you, thank you. I know, Jay, how much she loved to go to your concerts and hear you play. And now we get to hear from family. So her wife, Bev, and her dear friend, Grace, and her sister-in-law, Chandra, are going to share just some of her life journey.
Hey, everybody. All right. It has been so difficult to know how and where to start this. This, a eulogy for my dear wife, friend, and soulmate, Meggan. Impossible to sum a life in the limits of language, the nuances of deep connection, love, and joy, the stories, jokes, and quirks of our shared time and history. A few days ago, her mother and I were going through some of her things to find precious keepsakes for her to take back to North Carolina. I came across a handwritten letter I had sent to her while she was away for a few weeks to celebrate her sweet mom's birthday and spend time with her wonderful friends out east. So I'll just share this letter with you now. April 21st, 2015. My dear Meggan, here's a pen to paper, old school free write love letter. Because I miss you and I want you to hold these pages as tangible conduits connecting my sentiment to you. The night feels cold, a hint of rain to come. Clouds scatter across the sky, occluding moonlight, but revealing a few bright stars here and there. The osprey had been screeching their "hear me" up until the final light faded. A few mallards just overhead, low-flying oblong bodies with those tiny little wings. Their quacking quaint compared to the massive group talk of the Canada geese that preceded them. Little traffic noise, a quiet night. I write to you for I miss you, having you by me, to share our day's experiences as the hours move towards sleep, discussing the silly, annoying, difficult, entertaining, and lovely bits of a day during the unwinding hours. There is poetry in our love, a deepening everyday connection, both soulful and passionate, such that excites me to think forward to our shared tomorrows, both near and in the years to come. You are the one whose heart resonates with my own in a symphonic harmony of love. To the big universe, I give thanks for you in my life, for the randomness or the fates that brought us together. As I soon lay my head down and rest my body, know that my thoughts and heart are ever with you. I love you with all of me. Bev.
Hi. I met Meggan 34 years ago in our first week of the 7th grade. Almost right away, we were inseparable. One friend's mom even commented that our intense friendship bordered on odd. Meggan's mom, who adores her, called her Pooby Dooby Lamb Chop Boopkins. Emphasis on the boop. Pooby Dooby Lamb Chop Boopkins. Her parents, Philpot and Snake, were a second family to me, as Meggan was to my family. She came with us to our cabin in the North Carolina mountains so often that I honestly can't remember many trips without her. She participated in my family's Thanksgiving pageants, problematic homemade costumes and all. And I accompanied her on all-night horror movie, pizza, Girl Scout cookie marathons, on drives through Charlotte in her daddy's caddy, on trips to eat acorns with her grandmother. Yes, acorns. Hi, Phyllis. And on the road to prestigious golf tournaments where Meggan competed and I was her junior caddy, which basically means they let me ride in the back of the cart. My oldest child is now 12 and in the 7th grade, and beginning to form those important friendships. And although none of them yet could be described as bordering on odd, I wonder which, if any, will persist for decades to come. Which one of his friends might teach him to smoke behind the school on Lacey Lane and look like a natural? Sorry, parents. Which one might convince him to buy the matching green Birkenstocks instead of the more desirable brown, since the brown aren't in their size? Which one, again, sorry, parents, which one might skip school with him, ride the city bus downtown, and then form the worst garage band ever named for the bus line that took them on so many great adventures? For anyone interested, Bus 18 merch will be available after the service upon request. Which one might take him in and hold him when his heart has been broken, or come to him to be held when theirs is the broken one? Although I think it's fair to say that our Meggan broke way more hearts than the other way around. It's true that I have known her longer than a lot of people in this room, but I bet that all of you probably feel this way. She had a magnetism that transcended the length of a friendship. Her gravitational force moved tribes of people across the country, literally. It's no wonder that people sought out her company, claimed her as their own. She was one of the least judgmental people I have ever known, and holy shit, was she funny. Emily Dickinson wrote, "My friends are my estate," a truth which no one had to tell Meggan. She valued her friends just as much as we did her. We are Meggan's estate, and she knew it. My father-in-law said to me recently that friends who have passed on are arrows in our quiver, with us always, our North Stars as we navigate the world. Meggan has left her imprint on us, and though we have lost her, we have not lost the way she shaped us. I imagine we will continue to hear her advice, or her sarcastic comment, or her joke, and we will continue to feel her love. She has already given me my first ghost wink. I returned a loaned item to the ICU last week, and as I thanked the medical staff for taking such good care of her, I realized that they didn't know that she hadn't made it. Their reactions broke something inside of me, and I fled. As I was running out of the door to the hospital, a purple flyer caught my eye. I ran out the door, and then something nudged me to go back in and look at it. It was a flyer for a guest lecture on psilocybin and medicine. It was Meggan, telling me to slow down, to giggle, that it will, with time, suck a little less. Our last day together was perfect. She and Bev had come to the coast to spend Thanksgiving with my husband's family, which is always a raucous week of great wine, good food, and so much fun and family. Yet another wing of my family that Meggan had folded herself into in our 4th decade of friendship. But our final day was just the two of us. We drove up to Cannon Beach and charged her new car. We walked into town for beers and fish and chips at the Screw and Brew, and then drove to fill up our water bottles at a roadside spring known for its magical medicinal properties. The day was simple. It was silly and carefree and peppered with conversations that required only first names and the beginnings of sentences, or sometimes only keywords to trigger a memory or a story from 30 years ago. How many people in your life know you like that? Your whole self, who you were, who you are, and how you got this way. How many friendships like this are we granted in one lifetime? This last week, I've had a hard time catching my breath. If so many of the chapters of my life no longer have Meggan to bear witness to them, did they happen? Who are we without the people who see us and know us and love us, our uglies and all? She was my sister, and I loved her so much. Thank you.
There is no way to do better than Meggan, truly. A look at Meggan's life from any of her beloved's perspectives is an instruction on how to grab each day and love the people in front of you and live, truly live and love completely in the moment that you're in. The night Beverly and Meggan met, they danced and listened to Toto's song, Africa. As they danced, they began to fall in love as my sister thought, damn, I really like this girl. I knew Meggan was special the first time I met her too. They were both still living the young life on Mississippi Avenue. She just had this kindness. Grace knew as her magnetism, this connectedness to you right away. Everyone she met. I secretly hoped that they would get serious, as I'd never really seen Beverly with someone so kind, so fun. Not long after Bev and Meggan got serious, national marriage equality became real. I promptly, and not really subtly, started putting in the plug that maybe they should get married. I really could not see what Bev was waiting for. One day, Bev looked at me and said, yeah, I don't know why I am waiting. Probably not long after that letter, actually. There's no way I could ever do better than Meggan. I looked at her, and because I am her little sister, I said, no, you really won't. But the sibling chiding aside, I am not sure how our family got so lucky to have Meggan as an aunt to my 3 children, a daughter-in-law to my parents, and a sister to me. The love that began that night they danced to Toto's Africa stretched into years of laughter that linked everyone in this room into her chosen family. One of the most special times for our family has been shared time in Bev's and my childhood home of Hawaii with Aunt Meggan, or as my younger children used to call her, Aunt Meggie. Abe and Phoebe and Maddie spent days burying Aunt Meggan's feet in the sand, boogie boarding, swimming, eating local fare like poke, drinking guava juice, eating roadside coconuts, hiking in places without cell service and looking for turtles. After so much sun and sand, it's always hard to pack up and go back to the airport. Kaumaha is the Hawaiian word for grief. It literally means a heavy weight. It's a heavy weight everyone in this room has on them right now, but because it's a weight, it's meant for us to put it down. We're not supposed to carry it forever. When we talk about Kaumaha with our ohana or family and friends, we're putting a little bit of that weight down. Last December, on our last day, on what we did not know was our last trip to Maui without Aunt Maggie, we sat on the beach looking out at the ocean before heading to the airport. The children sat with their feet in the sand, complaining of not being able to go into the ocean to boogie board again before heading to the airport with Aunt Meggan. Then, not far from the shore, a whale fully breached. Her entire body, lovely blue mammalian body, glistened in the already warm morning sun. And then sent sprays of white foam into the air as her body met the ocean's surface. It was so breathtaking. All I could do was gasp and point before the word whale finally came to mind. My awe-inspired delayed reaction might have been enough to deprive all of the children of the chance to see anything but the last splashes of her tail. But then, as we looked out at the water, the whale generously graced us again, going full breach, spouting, and then jumping fully out of the water again and again and again, a rare sighting once. Yet she spouted, frolicked, and jumped across the ocean, the full body of a whale, and what we then realized was also her calf as she made her way northwesterly toward the island of Molokai. She completed her dance off the shores of Molokai with several porpoises joining in. To see such a performance once, but over and over, as the marine mammals made their way, was an island treasure. Meggan has taught each one of us what truly living is, what it is to be in true connection with others, to be present with the people we are with at the time we are with them, to be looking out at the ocean to enjoy every last minute of a vacation, and be gifted with nature's dance, or the first dance of a lifelong love in the making, because we are paying attention to the people in front of us and the natural world in front of us. The Hawaiians understand life to progress through birth, marriage, and then a stage of wisdom before death. Upon passing, the uhane, or the spirit or soul, leaves the confines of the body. Hawaiians celebrate the soul's liberation from the body during this phase of transition with a party of family and friends, very similar to what we planned this evening at Susan and Spiegel's home. Celebrating Meggan as one family offers support to each one of us and helps us set down this grief weight that we are carrying. The Hawaiians understand that Meggan's uhane, just as Reverend Lisa was saying, is here right now all around us. Some of us in this room felt and saw uhane as we gazed at the splendor of the northern lights. The lights bringing us into connection with her and one another as we gazed, even from separate places around Portland and beyond, understanding the beauty of her spirit right around us in this special time of transition. On the morning of Meggan's passing, I was driving her niece and nephew, Abe and Phoebe, to school. Usually the sounds of an alternative 90s band such as Nirvana or Green Day or the sounds of rap would blast from Abe's phone as he listens to the music of his choice before school. But that morning, somehow, the soft song of Toto's Africa inexplicably made it to the top of his playlist. Meggan's uhane seemed to announce, "It's going to take me a lot to drag me away from you." That is because her uhane is everywhere, making sure we are setting down our grief weight and learning the lessons of joy, presence, and connection.
I believe we have a slideshow, and I just invite you to enjoy and partake of some of the beautiful moments of Meggan's journey.
Jolene, 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 Jolene. And I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Please don't take him just because you can. Your beauty is beyond compare, with plenty lots of almond hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. And your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. He talks about you in his sleep, and there is nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene. Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm begging of you, please don't take that hand. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Please don't take him, even though you can. Now I can easily understand. You could easily take him and you don't know what he needs. Well, you could have your choice of man, but I could never love again. He's the only one for me, Jolene. And I had to have this talk with you, 'cause my happiness guess it depends on you and whatever you decide to do, Jolene. Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm begging on you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Please don't take him, even though you can.
You have teeth I can't bear. I am out of here. And I have teeth I must bear. I am out of here. What do you intend to do to mark the end of this? When you hold, you are half letting go of it. This is the last time I drag myself from your bed. I can't go, please be kind. Let me loose, I said. Next time I swear more hopeless fair. 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 Oh, how I've tried. Oh, how I've tried. Oh, I've tried, but I have teeth I must bear.
Don't hide the treasures you found in a hole in the ground. How about the tree back your house with a house girl? We're in between the attic and the basement, somewhere where it's not dark, 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 dark.
Attic in a basement with an isolated, I'll protect you. Attic in a basement with an isolated, I'll protect you.
Don't hide the pleasures you found and you're rolling around on the leaves you've been swept and the and don't go finding a replacement. Promise I'll show
Finding a replacement with a heart sedated, I'll forget you. Finding a replacement with a heart sedated, I'll forget you. Finding a replacement with a heart sedated, I'll forget protect you. Attic in the basement with an isolated, I'll protect you.
And you shout out loud and you're bursting with pride, 'cause they did what you're told and your heart is finally mending. It's not too late now to change your mind. The grass gets greener when we get to the finish line. An attic in a basement,
Attic in the basement,
Attic in the basement.
attic in the basement.
attic in a basement, and you won't make a sound or be nervous around piles of pictures so old that it feels like it is ending aloud. It shouldn't feel like it is ending.
All right, and this will continue to loop. Jay and Emily are going to come up and share with us.
What a beautiful face I have found in this place that is circling all around the sun. What a beautiful dream that could flash on the screen in the blink of an eye and be gone from me. Soft and sweet, let me hold it close and keep it here with me. And one day we will die, and our ashes will fly from the airplane over the sea. But for now we are young, let us lay in the sun and count every beautiful thing that we see. Love to be in the arms of all I'm keeping here with me. What a curious life we have found here tonight. There is music, sounds through the street. There are lights in the clouds and these ghosts all around. Hear her voice as it's rolling and ringing through me. Soft and sweet, how the notes all bend and reach above the tree.
And now I remember you, how I would
Push my fingers through your mouth to make those muscles move that made your voice so smooth and sweet. And now we sleep where we don't know. All secrets sleep in winter clothes with one you loved so long ago. And you don't even know his name. What a beautiful face we have found in this place that is circling all around the sun. When we meet on a cloud, I'll be laughing out loud. I'll be laughing with everyone I see. Can't believe how strange it is
Thank you so much. And we're going to pause this for a moment, and then we'll get back to this. But we just want to take a moment and offer the opportunity. If you would like to share a story or a way that Meggan touched your life, I just invite you to think about doing that, because part of what happens in the healing is when we share some of the ways we've been touched. Is there anybody who'd like to share a story or a piece of how she touched you? Wonderful. There's a microphone right back there, Dixie, and Dixie will bring it over. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Amanda. I don't know most of you except for my people here. I was Megan's charge nurse at Outpatient I. We had only had her with us for a little bit less than a year. It felt like way longer than that in a good way. Even from the time that Kim and I first, when she did her interview, and it was over Zoom, COVID, all those things, we could just tell she was going to fit in right away with us, and she did right from the get-go. It just felt like she was always there when she started. Just after like a couple weeks, like she was just part of the team, and we didn't get nearly long enough with her. But when nurses, you're working, elbow to elbow, talking about things constantly. So even though we only had about 10, 11 months with her, a number of us got to, get to know her pretty well. I can see her from the photos. She was about one of the closest people in age to me. I can see the Gen X influence. She still carried her backpack into work like she did in one of those photos. Coat on, hat over on her head, the same hat I saw in some of those. And there's just so many little interactions I feel like that I want to take with me that seem like small things that could turn into big things. Like, one of the things, not every day in nursing goes smoothly, right? I mean, so one of the things she would tell me sometimes was, "Get it together, Miles," which is my last name. And in my head sometimes, I would tell her, "Get it together," Farr sometimes also. But in my head sometimes I still tell myself, "Get it together, Miles," and I feel like it's just another one of those quivers to add to the positive self-talk that I'm always trying to strive for. We will miss her sense of humor dearly also. And she was so generous with it. She cried easily, even on the unit. She laughed easily too, both of which were great. I felt like she was just her whole self when she was with us. One day she was sitting at our main desk area, and I wanted her to do something, and I don't remember if I asked it as a question or said, "Hey, you two," but it turned into, "You two turkeys, will you do this?" Because she was sitting next to another nurse, which is actually a term of endearment. My parents used to call us turkeys, and I had not called anyone that in a long time, but it just seemed appropriate at the time. So she just cracked up, like just lost it. And even a couple minutes later, she was still like giggling with that giggle that she had. And, and she was like, "You called us turkeys." I just loved how much that she loved it. It was just so, it was so endearing. One of the other things, a small thing that, like I said, maybe turns into a big thing or one of those ghost winks. So we had this big discussion, and we feed patients, most of them, after their surgeries, especially if they're not having general anesthesia. And so one of the items that we have is bananas, usually. Somehow one day that got us on a discussion of the song, which we found out on a Wikipedia search is about 100 years old, but the "Yes, I Have No Bananas," which if you don't know it, please look it up. It will make more sense, but it's a very old song. I think it was written by someone who knew a Greek immigrant who led off everything with, yes, we have, even if the answer was no bananas. So yes, we have bananas today, or yes, we have no bananas today. So this turned into a running joke with Meggan and I that sometimes, because sometimes we had bananas and sometimes we didn't. And, we'd even just be like walking, past each other in the break room and be like, yes, we have no bananas today. And we'd be sad. Or sometimes we had them and we'd be happy. As I was walking up, I parked in the parking lot across the street, and there's a little library here. And the first book I saw, because it was facing out, and the title was in Spanish, but it was about, apparently, bananas. So, miss you, Meggan.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to share?
Sorry, I'm really nervous and feeling a million things, so bear with me. I met Meggan my first week of college. She and Grace were the coolest kids I had ever met, and my 17-year-old self would be shocked to learn that Meggan would have such an impact on my life. She was who brought me to Portland. We had talked about it, but she made it happen and welcomed me here with a spare room in her home. I instantly had a community because of Meggan. She is my emergency contact. She is the one I call in crisis. She is the one who had my back always. And she did that for so many others. It was so easy to connect with Meggan. Her kindness, her kindred spirit, her sense of humor. Everyone who I introduced to Meggan immediately liked her because she always made you feel seen. She was a charismatic homebody who lived to the fullest. The last week has been most surreal. Sorry. The last time I saw Meggan, I left the hospital with so much relief, so much hope that she was going to discharge in a few days and the healing process was beginning. We had talked about how loved she was and how many people came to see her or were thinking of her. She didn't feel good. And so she was grumpy, but she was Meggan, and she was there, and I loved her grumpiness. I think many of us have had to deal with denial that this is really true. It just doesn't seem right. We were supposed to grow old together and live with all our friends on a big commune and have hot nurses taking care of us. But it is the reality. I know she was tired, and I know she's at peace now. And what I've learned over the past week is she has not left us. Instead, she is now everywhere.
You want to go ahead? All right. Anybody else want to share? Okay. One more time. Anybody? We'd love to hear a story. Well, you'll have time to do it then also afterwards, downstairs if you'd like to. As we have this opportunity and we've gotten to see so many different parts of her life and they're continuing on, I believe that we get to realize that some of the beauty that she shared with us and the real journey of her life continues on now and in this opportunity. And so, the truest eulogy isn't in the words that we spoke today or that we speak on formal occasions, but it's in the thoughts of her mind. It's the times when Meggan's in our mind and we hear one of the statements she says or the way that she sees the world, and we're able to take that on. And so I just invite you as you move throughout this time of readjustment it's little bit by little bit learning to put down the grief or hold the grief or be a part of it. We just get to know that who she is that light. And I want to read something called The Traveler. She has put on invisibility. Dear Spirit, we cannot see, but this we know, although the road ascends and passes from our sight, that there shall be no night, that you have taken her gently by the hand, and you lead her on along the road of life that never ends. And she has found it is not death, but dawn. We do not doubt that you are there as here, and you still hold her dear. Our life did not begin with birth. It is not even of the earth. And this that we call death, it is no more than the opening and a closing of a door. And in your house, how many rooms must be beyond this one where we rest momently? Spirit, we thank you for the faith that frees and the love that knows it cannot lose its own. The love that looking through the shadows sees that we are all always one. And we just take a moment and know that this light of God surrounds her. The love of God enfolds her. The power of God protects her. The presence of God watches over her. Wherever she is, this infinite presence and power is. And we're going to just take it. We'll stop this for just a moment, and we're going to sing together. One of the requests was the opportunity Beverly wanted to sing together and to hold and join our voices in song. It is a blessing. I just invite you to be a part of this.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for you and for me. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for you and for me. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And we truly are, and we thank all of you for being a part here. And Beverly will be we're going to put you right back at the church just to say thank you for being a part and for holding this space, this sacred space of knowing that truly Meggan is the light she has always been and always will be. Thank you. Love to invite you downstairs to just celebrate and to talk and to just connect in that spirit of love.
Do you know when you were already born? Do you know this is the way it would be? Did you know when you were already born? You were already you and I already made. So take me as I am. Take me as I am. I know it's easier said than done, but we've talked a million hours to end up just where we begun. In this time we're passing with these distractions, we could be having fun. So take me as I am.